Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And they'll begin on the ground with Gainwell. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throwing now is Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. From just shy of midfield, Mahomes. Throw right side, going to be caught by Hardman. Down the sideline he goes. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
At his top speed, according to Next Gen Stats, well, really, it's ridiculous, impossible, whatever you want to call it, 22.6 miles per hour.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
This defense for the Chiefs, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
They go back to Pollard on second down.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
The Broncos at 2-4 here in the first half of the year. Yeah, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W. They have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month, partner, in this league, without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition, you start to wonder about your job security as well.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Going to run again here with Pollard. Shoves him aside.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
12 more yards there and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now Jones.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
CD, what a sensational start for this defense. Instead of just forcing the 3-and-out, which they were about to do, they pick it off and take it in for the score.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't just settle for the standard good way to start a game. They started in dramatic fashion. Take it away, score points, and guess what? They'll be flying to go back out there on defense again after that play.
And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question, down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive.
And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Jones throw there, complete to Hamler.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now a give here to Pollard. And he's got room. And he will step out of bounds down near the 10-yard line. 94 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And this defense, Charles, bottom half of the league against the run. That's not going to help their average.
Not at all. And when you're getting ready to play against them, in your scouting report, you're actually counting on a certain number of big-time runs against them. They've given them up all year.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Williams will try again. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. From the 3 now. Here they come on 3rd and goal. Pollard. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage. There's just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down. They'll run for it with Pollard, and he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the ball's going to be going back to the Chiefs. A chance to get some momentum here in the 2nd quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in. But I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the 2nd quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. From the gun, a give to Gainwell. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Mahomes going to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10.
From the gun, here's a run by Gainwell.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Mahomes now to throw.
That's caught. It's Kenneth Gainwell.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 38-yard line. 14 yards that time for number 14.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 38. They fake the give. Now Mahomes.
That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Yellow.
Straight ahead, it's Gainwell.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
2nd and 7.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And this is caught at the 8. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
Boy, this is a well-orchestrated drive they've put together. You think back to how far they were backed up to start things out, but they've gone on a march since then. And now after that completion there, they've got a 1st and goal.
And he'll get 2 or 3 out of that one as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. From back at the 3 now. This is 3rd and goal.
They'll look to run with Gainwell.
And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Pollard again. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 109 yards on the ground here for Pollard. This is a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Throwing Jones. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete.
And they are into field goal range now as he's got the first down at the 26.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way. They could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
Back to throw. Jones. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones.
Open man is Ayuk, complete.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Here's Jones on 1st and 10. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Bass is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And with Mahomes under center, anything's possible. Watch out for the deep ball. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this 2nd half as they trail, and we are back underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Up the middle, it's Williams. 7 yards there and a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They'll run with Pollard. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time. So make sure you get in shape.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain there of 21 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Run for Pollard. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, You have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver.
Chigakakwo,
His 5th touchdown now on the year.
and the Broncos have cut it back within a score. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that slices the lead down to 17-10.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Shotgun snap to Mahomes.
His throw taken in by Isaiah Likely.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
They run behind center with Gainwell.
And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Pat Surtain.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
And now both of these defenses have something to brag about following this one, each with a pick-6 today.
They are even there, but we still have to decide a winner, don't we, partner? And what they really want to brag about after this one is getting that W. The turnovers are great. Can they make plays now that tilt the balance in their favor?
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
But I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Third quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10. Mahomes' throw is on target to Likely.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
50 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's third down.
CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his 2nd interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down. It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 3rd down, here's Williams. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now Jones throwing on 4th down. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game-tied fourth quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
It didn't work out, and again, tie game fourth quarter makes this thing a little bit more interesting. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Caleb Chase, the former first-rounder, in there to get the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. Throwing left side, it's complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Meanwhile, Mahomes throw into the hands here of Hardman.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story, and wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the fourth quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Jones.
Swinging this out for Pollard.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones.
That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2.
Let's not quibble about the game there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Trying to run for it with Pollard.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 157 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
But sometimes, Brandon, it's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25.
Call it a gain of 14 for the second play in a row.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
Being chased out left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away but could not. He'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's second down.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Tony Pollard with career touchdown number 109. That ties him with Barry Sanders on the all-time NFL list.
And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And Carter, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the fourth.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
The fumble on first down now. Here's second down.
From the gun, it's Mahomes.
Pass complete. It's likely.
This is where, of course, it's good to have a veteran quarterback under center.
You would just be able to put on one of those blood pressure clicks, and nothing would be different for him. He's done it many times before, expects to get it accomplished again.
The slot man in motion right.
And they'll try and run for it with Gainwell.
And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Mahomes will throw.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this one is incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
A couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. slot man moves right.
Here's Mahomes. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game. And a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had because those haven't been great. But they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And the slot man goes in motion left.
Mahomes to throw it.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down.
Mahomes.
And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Marquise Bell. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. And we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Going to run again here with Pollard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Big 3rd down. A field goal from this spot, 57 yards as they hope to move it a little closer. Now a give here to Pollard. And he is going to lose yardage here. They went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So all eyes now on Tyler Bass. This from Tom Dempsey range here. Does he have the distance? He does. It's good. My goodness, he hits it from the parking lot as time expires. And it'll be all smiles on Blake Street tonight. The Broncos have won it.
Somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.